In this video, I am going to explain about dopamine administration. So it is very essential in the routine clinical practice, as well as it is very important concept in the competitive examinations like NAPLEX. Okay. So here in this video, I am going to explain you about the dose to be administered in case of treating persistent hypotension, and here we are mainly focusing on the approaches to be considered while administering dopamine. So here this dopamine is considered as a potent drug, and keep in mind that all the potent drugs should not be administered through by a direct IV bolus route. Okay. So all the potent drugs should be administered through by IV infusion. Okay. And this is the important point, and at the end we are going to solve the problem based on the dose calculation of dopamine. Okay. So before going to the general points of dopamine, we have to know the mechanism of action and the type of receptors particularly related to the dopamine. So here if you see, there are 5 subunits of dopamine receptors, and here you can see the type of dopamine receptors like D1, D2, D3, 4 and 5. Okay. So these dopamine receptors, particularly D1, is present on the vasculature of renal arteries. Okay. And the dopamine administration is very essential in case of persistent hypotension, and in this, usually in case of persistent hypotension, we first administer the plasma expanders. So even after the administration of plasma expanders, if the patient condition is not treated, then we go for dopamine administration. So it is a type of ionotrope, and it helps in increasing the force of contraction of the heart muscle, and it also helps in increase in the perfusion of kidney. Okay. So through by vasodilation of the renal arteries, it helps in adequate perfusion of blood to the kidneys, and it helps in increased force of contraction of cardiac muscle, and thereby it will helps in treating the persistent hypotension due to decreased cardiac output. Okay. So here if you see, based upon the dose that we are going to administer to the patient, so it is showing the various mechanisms and it is showing the various actions. Okay. So if you see, in case of low dose of dopamine administration, so when will you consider that the dopamine is administered in a low doses means, if you administer dopamine having a dose less than 2.5 micrograms per minute, and we are considering it as low doses, and if you administer the dopamine in low doses, it causes vasodilation. So how the vasodilation is occurring due to low dose administration of dopamine is, it is causing the stimulation of dopamine D1 receptors that are present on the arteries, particularly the renal arteries. Okay. So here due to the stimulation, due to the activation of dopamine D1 receptor, it causes the vasodilation, and it results in increased perfusion of blood to the kidney. Okay. And in case of moderate doses, so if you administer the dopamine of dose of 2.5 to 5 micrograms per kg per minute, so we are considering it as a moderate dose, and the action due to administration at the moderate doses of dopamine results in ionotropic activity. So it helps in increasing the force of contraction of ventricular muscle. Okay. And in case of in high therapeutic doses, so it results in vasoconstriction. Okay. So here the high therapeutic doses of dopamine is in the range between 5 micrograms to 10 micrograms per kg per minute. Okay. So it shows the vasodilation, and it shows the ionotropic activity, and it also causes the vasoconstriction. Okay. So particularly we are focusing on treating the persistent hypotension in the emergency conditions. Okay. So in the emergency department, if the patient who got admitted, so due to the decreased blood pressure, so we can say it as a hypotensive condition. So in this case, so usually we have to administer the plasma expanders. So even after the administration of this plasma expander, if the patient condition is not treated, then we have to prefer the inotropes, particularly the dopamine. So it is very useful for treating the hypotension due to decreased cardiac output, and it is also used in maintenance of blood pressure in case of shock conditions. Okay. So if we suspect that the patient is having persistent hypotension, so here how the dopamine should be administered. So even if you know the dose of dopamine, without knowing the procedure of administration, it may be fatal to the patient. So you have to know the dose and the rate of flow of dopamine, because here the preferred route of administration of dopamine is through by IV infusion only, because it is a type of potent drug. So that's why we have to dilute this concentrate of dopamine before administration in the IV infusion form. So here we are going to know the dose of dopamine for treating hypotension and the rate of flow to be set, and how to dilute. So in which type of solutions that we have to dilute this dopamine. You can dilute the dopamine with 0.9% normal saline. Okay. So you can dilute the dopamine by using the 0.9% normal saline, and 5% dextrose solution is also suitable for diluting dopamine. Okay. And you can also administer dopamine after diluting with Ringer lactate solution. Okay. So in either of these solution you can dilute the dopamine by using this, and after the dilution we have to administer to the patient through by IV line. How to dilute this dopamine and how to set a rate of dopamine for treating persistent hypotension. So here, so we are having the infusion pump. Okay, so in the emergency departments we are having the infusion pump. So by using the infusion meter we can set a rate, the precision rate, by using this infusion meter. So here we have to dilute the dopamine that is available in the market in either by using the 0.9% normal saline or 5% dextrose or the Ringer lactate solution. So here if you see in market, the dopamine is available in ampoules or in vials. And you have to and the dose of dopamine that is available in the market is 40 mg per ml. Okay. So this is the dose of dopamine that is available in the market, 40 mg per ml. The capacity of vial is 5 ml and each ml contains the 40 mg of dopamine. Okay. So totally the dopamine vial consists of a total of 200 mg in each vial. Okay. So each ml contains 40 mg and the capacity of the vial is 5 ml, and the 5 ml consists of a total of 200 mg of dopamine. Okay. And the dopamine is available in the form of dopamine HCl. So this is the available form of dopamine, and each ml contains 40 mg of dopamine and the total of 5 ml containing 200 mg. The preferred dose of dopamine for treating persistent hypotension, it is considered as 2.5 to 5 micrograms per kg per minute. So this is the dose of dopamine per kg for a minute. We are not going to directly administer this. So before administering we have to check whether the patient was already administered with plasma expanders or not. Okay. So even after the administration of plasma expanders, so if the patient condition is not treated, then we will prefer the dopamine administration. And here we initially starts with the moderate dose of dopamine and then followed by increasing the doses based upon the patient condition. And the patient, based upon the patient improvement, we will increase or decrease the dose of dopamine. Okay. So here by using the infusion meter, we are going to set the precise rate of flow. So before this we have to dilute it with the either normal saline or 5% dextrose or Ringer lactate solution. So here you have to be cautious while diluting the concentrate of dopamine by using these solutions. Okay. So here for example, if the patient admitted in emergency department having a weight of 60 kgs, okay, having a weight of 60 kgs, then how to administer the dopamine, how to dilute the dose of dopamine for its administration. So here the preferred dose for treating persistent hypotension is, for example, let us say 5 micrograms per kg per minute. Okay. So here the patient is having a weight of 60 kgs. Yes. So here for 1 kg we have to administer 5 micrograms, and here the patient is having 60 kgs. For 60 kgs the amount of dopamine to be needed for its administration is 60 into 5. Okay. So a total of about 300 micrograms per minute. Okay. So this is the per minute dose of dopamine. So we have to keep in mind that whenever you want to administer any solution through by IV infusion route by using an infusion meter, so always you have to calculate the dose of the drugs in ml per hour. So this is while setting the rate of flow for these solutions, we have to calculate in ml per hour dose. Okay. So here we have we get 300 micrograms per kg per minute. So this is the dose of dopamine to be administered in a minute. Okay. We have to convert this to an hour. Okay. So for 1 minute we need to administer 300 micrograms for 60 minutes. So 1 hour means 60 minutes, and for 60 minutes how much dose of dopamine is needed to administer. So here if you see the 60 into 300, so we will get 18,000 micrograms per hour. So this is the hourly dose. So this is in the infusion meter, it is having a syringe having a capacity of 50 ml. Okay. I am going to dilute the 5 ml of dopamine with the 45 ml of normal saline. So totally it makes about a volume of 50 ml. Okay. And here if you see the 50 ml of normal saline containing 200 mg of dopamine. Okay. So here the dose needed for treating persistent hypotension is 5 micrograms per kg per minute. Okay. So already we have calculated the dose of dopamine needed for a patient having 60 kgs. We got 18 mg per hour dose. 50 ml of normal saline contains 200 mg of dopamine. Okay. So here the dose to be needed for administering for treating the persistent hypotension is we need only 18 mg per hour. Okay. But the makeup volume containing 200 mg of dopamine. So we have to calculate the ml, the amount of solution to be administered to the patient. Okay. So here by calculating, so here we can get 18 into 50 by 200, 4 4 5. So here approximately, so we can get 4.5 ml per hour dose. Okay, I am considering 5 micrograms per kg per minute for treating hypotension, and here the patient, we have assumed that the patient bearing a weight of 60 kgs, and we can get the 18 mg per hour dose. Okay, so after calculating the total amount to be needed for treating the persistent hypotension based upon the body weight in relation to the time, and here after the dilution, after making the volume of dopamine with the normal saline. So here in the market it is available as a vial having a capacity of 5 ml, and each ml contains 40 mg. So a total of 5 ml contains about 200 mg of dopamine. So here we can make up the volume of about 50 ml, and the 50 ml of normal saline consists of 200 mg of dopamine. Okay, so here we need a total dose per hour of about 18 mg. So we do not need a total of 200 mg for this patient. So initially we will start with the moderate doses. So that's why here the moderate dose after calculation is we got 18 mg per hour. So this is the dose to be administered. So here after calculating the amount of solution to be infused to the patient for treating persistent hypotension after dilution of dopamine with 45 ml of normal saline. So thereby we can get the 4.5 ml per hour. Okay, so this is the rate of flow of the solution to be administered, to be infused to the patient through by IV line for treating persistent hypotension. So like this we have to calculate the amount of dopamine to be administered for the particular patient for treating persistent hypotension. Okay, so based upon the body weight, so based upon the condition of the patient, so we can start either with the initial dose or we can start with high therapeutic doses. So how do you know that the patient is getting improved on administration of initial dose of dopamine? So for example, if the patient is not getting improved, so we can easily determine through by observing the blood pressure and the heart rate and the urine output. Okay, so these are some of the signs that can be seen, that can be observed. So while interpreting whether the patient is improving or not on administration of initial doses of dopamine. Okay, so this is the way of diluting the dopamine that is available in the market. So by using either normal saline or the ringer lactate or the 5% dextrose. Do not dilute the dopamine with the alkaline fluids. So for example, do not dilute with the sodium bicarbonate. So it is having the alkaline nature, and you do not prefer this solution in order to dilute the dopamine concentrate. Okay, so it is not effective, and the administration of dopamine is contraindicated in the case of tachyarrhythmias. And in the case of supraventricular tachycardias, it is contraindicated. And in another case called pheochromocytoma, so it is nothing but an adrenal tumor. It is an adrenal tumor. In this case, there we can see the more and more synthesis of adrenaline and noradrenalines. Before the dilution, you can store the dopamine at the temperature of 20 to 25 degrees centigrade. If you store the diluted solution at the temperature of 2 to 8 degrees centigrade only, in these instances only we will use the diluted dopamine solution up to 24 hours after dilution.